Hi everyone, it's Andrea and I am back to finish up the second of our creative design team week-long collaborations where we are working on projects from our creative design team Days of December 2022 album. If you are not familiar with this sketchbook, we have 46 6x8 sketches available to you in this sketchbook. And if you've not gotten yours yet, I will go ahead and link the website where you can get your own copy of this sketchbook down below in this video's description. So let's get started on the project that I'm going to share with you today. I'm excited to share with you a Cricut file that I have made. And if you've not yet gotten it, I'll put the link down below in the video description. It is on the page where you would actually purchase the Days of December guide, and it is free and you can go check that out there. I have made a Cricut file which everyone should be able to use because it is with one of the free fonts in Design Space, and there's quite a few layers to it, and so I just wanted to explain it. I have two layers, one that is squared off. You'll see that it has some very pointy edges, and one that's more rounded. And this is the base of the design if you choose to use it in the way that I have. So basically all these pieces are optional and you can pick and choose what you'd like to use when you use this file. I had seen some of the other girls using a paid for file, and I decided that I really wanted to share something that you guys could use and not have to go elsewhere to pay for. And so that's why I decided to do this project. So I've decided, like I said, with the pointy one, there's one that's more rounded. So I've cut that out. This is actually out of our mix-ins paper pack for this particular October through December catalog, and it has this beautiful polka dot pattern on some mink cardstock with a checkered pattern on the back, but I like the way this looks, so we're going to use that. I've also designed an overlay that has the negative pieces cut out, so you'll be able to pick out each of these layers as they cut, but you want to hold on to them. You'll also notice that there's little inside pieces to the D, the B, and the R that you want to make sure stay with your file, with your cutout here, because you're going to use those when you start building things. Now, you could use this just like it is and not go ahead and use these inside pieces if you wanted, and just use this somewhere. I've created some letters that are bigger that will fit behind. This was one of my pet peeves when I bought some open font SVGs from other designers, that you had to pay extra or there was nothing to back them with. And so I've created a layer where you could back these. And I'm just going to flip it over and show you that the actual letter is bigger than the outline, so you can glue these in from the back. And this is represented in the Cricut file as a lighter red, a lighter scarlet shade. For my cover page here, for my Days of December album, you have the base. You will adhere this down. And then by cutting it a second time out of our pine glitter cardstock, which is gorgeous, I can just place these in from the front and it is a perfect fit. So I'm just trying to give you lots of options. If you decide, you can also just do simple layers by layering those bigger backing pieces with some of the negatives that are left over, and you could create a second title. So I am not going to just discard these black pieces. I'm actually going to use the word December in a bigger 12 by 12 layout down the road. So I'm holding on to those. So I just want to show you how I'm going to build my Days of December cover page. First thing that we're going to do, we're going to work on the actual word December. So we're just going to simply adhere this all together. While you're watching, I can do this fairly quickly, I believe. And I'm going to try to use my green mono glue here. It's at the end of its life cycle. I'm just going to trace the outside a bit. And I will put this in fast forward so that you do not have to watch all of this tedious gluing here. So I'm just turning this over and I'm going to just lay this into place. Since we're using a liquid adhesive, we have a moment or two to move things where we'd like them. I feel like this is a little too high up, so I'm just going to give this a little nudge down. And I'm happy with that placement, so I'm going to go ahead and just press it down into place. And then I've decided I'm just going to use the pine glitter cardstock for my letters. I'm not going to back those. These are really good though if you don't have the mink piece here to lay things down on and glue. So that's why I wanted to provide you with that option. So this is going to be fairly easy. I'm just going to quickly run some adhesive down the letters that I know are solid. And we are going to actually skip the B, the R, and the D for the moment while I lay these in. This pine glitter cardstock just has so many different variations in the glitter. It just really is three-dimensional, and if you've not yet worked with it, you're going to fall in love with it if you decide to use it in any of your projects. Now with the D, the B, and the R, I'm just going to really make sure that I don't go into the middle here. That this way I am not putting glue down in the middle where it should be open. So let's go ahead and put that down. And then I have the inside to the D right here. Just making sure I have it the right way. And for this, I'm just going to put some glue on the inside and then lay that into place. And it's a beautiful fit right there in the middle. We'll do the same with the R. I'm going to glue here instead of putting it down on there. Now I have some fancy designs here that I want to also include on my cover page. Work the B down into place. You'll notice with the B that you have a larger piece, which will go down on the bottom opening, and then you have a smaller as well. That'll go up on the top. And that was pretty quick and easy. I just wanted to give you like a whole bunch of flexibility when you create your Cricut cuts. You can customize these a bit. You can change the colors up. You can do some glitter, some solid, whatever you'd like. Now I'm just also going to bring in a cut. This is from our Christmas Story digital art collection. And it's a collection of really pretty images that'll match my Days of December album just beautifully. And I actually, just trying to figure out which way I like it, I cut this out of the large 12 by 12 double layout image. I isolated just this little bough of greenery, and I've decided that that's what I want to use. So I got rid of the rest of the 12 by 12 layout and just used the greenery. So I just put some adhesive right in the center of that little bough, and I'm going to put it right here. I think that's placed fairly well. And this I've cut out of our Seabrook glitter cardstock. I think that's just gorgeous. The color combination, the different kinds of green, different colors of green are just so pretty. And I have also used a font that came from DeFont. There's lots of different scripty fonts out there. Use what you have, but I've cut the words 2022. And so I'm just pulling those apart right now out of my little box here. I seem to have a string caught on those, so I'm just taking that off. And I'm going to place those, see where I like them. Julie used the same font in her design file for her cover. And I asked her to share what it was. I just thought it was so pretty. And so again, we found this one on DeFont. And I will put the title of it in my video's description as well. I like that arrangement, so we're going to go with that. And this time I'm going to bring in some liquid glass. And the reason for that is when I glue glitter cardstock to glitter cardstock, sometimes it needs a little reinforcement like the liquid glass. I was okay using the green glue up here because I am going from a solid back here onto normal cardstock. But when I'm gluing this cardstock back here of this glitter cardstock onto glitter cardstock here, I just need a little bit more reinforcement. So that liquid glass does the trick. The last thing that I have to do is I have these little berries. I'm going to call them berries. I'm going to place them right here. And I've cut these out of Scarlet as well. And they belong on this little piece of greenery right here. And so I know that there's 3 that go right in the center. We have one bigger one and then 2 smaller ones on either side. So I'm just going to lay those down. Now, if you wanted exact placement, you could take a screenshot of this particular piece of greenery and berries if you wanted in Design Space, and you could follow that precisely. But I think I will guesstimate and see where this looks best. So once again, since I'm gluing onto the glitter, I do want to use the liquid glass. And so once again, I'm going to put this in fast forward while I go ahead and adhere down all of these little berries. Now that we have all of the berries placed, I'm going to use my liquid glass and create an enamel layer on these by just going over with the liquid glass onto each of these berries. It's going to look very opaque at first, but it will dry clear and glossy. This one's gotten stuck to my nail. If you're going to do this, it might be best to let these dry first before you try to go ahead and put this little touch of liquid glass on them so you don't pull them up like I did. But if you're careful and gentle, you can make it work right away. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to show you what it looks like. They're a little bit foggy right now, but I guarantee you that this is going to dry beautifully and you're going to have this very pretty little touch. It looks like you've put actual gemstones across when it dries. Now, what I also have done, just going to move our letters over to the side here because we're not going to be using those. I have cut a piece of 6x8 white cardstock. I'm going to slide this out of the protector. I do want to make this a shaker on the front here, but my plan is on the back to have day 1 and then day 2 in my album. And I don't want to see the busy side of the back of my cardstock. So I've just simply slid a piece of white into here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pretend that this is all adhered together. And I will eventually adhere this down, but I don't want to put everything into the page yet because I do have the wet look here. And so what I think I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and just lightly put a few dots around the page. And like I said, we'll make this a shaker element so that we have some free-flowing little confetti stars. I'm just going to hit some here. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I do want to have some stars in place. I know a lot of them are going to pull up down here when I put this into the page, but I want to have some that stay stationary. And so by throwing some on top of this glue, we will indeed have some that are stationary and stay in place when the shaker is not being when the shaker's standing up in my album. So I hope that's a little tip. We'll slide this in eventually into our page protector, and we'll have this loose shaker on just the one side. However, it won't come in contact to the back side with our page number 1. And so I hope that you've enjoyed learning my thought process behind creating this Cricut file for you to use in your Days of December album. You could always use this just as a free floating page. You could put some punches in here, here, and here. Put this directly in your album and then begin with your pages behind it. It's completely up to you what you'd like to do with it, but I just really wanted to create something that was flexible that you could customize, and I hope that this hit the mark for you. If you have not done so, I'd love it if you became one of my subscribers here on my Girl Plus Paper channel, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up so that everybody has a better chance of seeing it. I will also, like I said, link the entire Creative Design Team playlist down below in this video's description so that you can go ahead and watch all of our Days of December videos. If you've not yet bought the sketchbook, the link will be down there as well, and you can pick this sketchbook up and make it your own. Thanks for watching and have a great day.